Hello everyone, Miss Carrie here from Miss Carrie's Creations. Today I'm going to share a gorgeous winter layout with a monochromatic theme. On my desk I have the December main kit from Hip Kit Club. This has a wonderful mix of softer hues and fun whimsical patterns. With these 12 double-sided pattern papers, you will receive a clear snowflake stamp, coordinating puffy alpha stickers, holographic foil foam snowflake stickers, cardstock and foam phrase stickers, a cardstock sticker pack, and cardstock ephemera. As I create this scrapbook page, I'll bring in a few additional supplies. I'll list those in the description below, along with a link to the December hip kits. I'm going to make a wreath of snowflakes, and I need to draw a template on my page so that I can create an even circular pattern. In my craft room, I have a variety of large circles that I cut with my Cricut for projects like this. I usually cut them from product labels like this one so that I don't waste a sheet of paper. You can trace this with a pencil, but I prefer to use a stylus. Pencil lines are very difficult to erase under softer ink blending. This ombre ink pad is one of the items that comes with the December color kit, and as you can see, the colors are perfect for winter pages. This is a dye-based ink, and those types of inks don't blend very well, so I'm going to tap off the excess ink before I add anything to my page. This is going to soften that color and reduce the number of brush strokes I have. I do want to bring in a small amount of the violet color and blend it into the blue. As the colors blend together, this turns into more of a periwinkle color, and I really like how it looks. I'm going to finish this up off camera so that we can start stamping. The snowflakes are going to be heat embossed, so I need to brush a little bit of anti-static powder over the page. The powder prevents excess embossing powder from sticking onto other areas. Damp ink, static in the air, and oil from your hands can easily attract embossing powder. I'm going to place my first stamp where my photo is going to sit. This is my tester image that helps me determine the amount of ink and pressure needed to stamp the image. I could have done this on a scrap piece of paper, but I know that the photo is going to hide any mistakes. With the lights, you probably cannot see the embossed line or how I'm lining up this snowflake image, so I'm going to try to explain it the best that I can. At the end of each snowflake arm, there is a large dot. I'm lining up 2 of the dots on my embossed line so that I have a nice circle shape once they're all stamped. I have stamped 3 snowflakes with the clear embossing ink, and I'm going to pour my white embossing powder over the top. This embossing powder also comes in the color kit. As I tap off the powder, you can see that I didn't line these up very well, so I think I'll just stamp one image at a time and add the powder over each one after stamping. The embossing powder is going to make the snowflake images more visible. You just need to be super careful that you don't disturb the powder when you stamp the next image. If you're worried about your stamping ability, you can heat each snowflake separately. As I continue to stamp the snowflakes, I would love it if you tap the subscribe button and let me know that you're new here. If you're already a subscriber, let me know that you enjoyed today's tutorial by tapping the thumbs up icon or leaving a comment below. I would love to know if you are going to add some heat embossed images to your next project. I have finished the stamping and adding the powder to the page. I can already tell that this is going to look so pretty when it's done. In a previous video, I showed you how to heat emboss vellum. The techniques are the same, but cardstock takes a little longer to heat through. As the powder begins to melt, I'm going to move my heat tool to make sure that the heat is evenly distributed. The powder's set when it becomes a solid, shiny layer. Isn't this so pretty? Now, the tester snowflake isn't great, but it is going to be hidden under the photo, so I'm not worried about it. Snow has a bit of shimmer, so I'm going to add some shine with a shimmer brush. I've created a little puddle of ink off to the side and saturated my brush so that I can tap some large droplets around the wreath. When I tested this, I was surprised how it changed the color of the ink slightly and gave it an iridescent look. If you don't own a shimmer brush, you can flick white paint or glitter paste over the top, or bring in some paint dots or sequins. Before I run this through the sewing machine, I need to set this aside to dry. I'm going to gather up some of the items I need for the page and show you how this comes together. I've placed this beautiful background over the top of the bundle up pattern paper and created multiple circles with my sewing machine. I also added a stitched frame around the page. The ink, embossing, shimmer, and stitching creates such a dynamic background. Now I think I'm going to give this page more of a monochromatic feel. There are some pink snowflakes on the frame, but the rest of the elements are going to fall within the blue family. I want most of the weight on the left side of the photo. This is going to emphasize my focal point and balance out what looks like an uneven circle. I started with dark blue stems and added some larger trees near the base. These tree die cuts mimic the trees that are in the photo. The flower bundle I added has some bright red and pink flowers, and those are really standing out among all of the blues. They're not quite fitting in with the monochromatic scheme. Now, this is an easy fix. All I need to do is cover the flowers with these pearls from the embellishment kit. I built the title with the phrase Winter Adventure and have tucked a couple of branches and stems on the right. Below that large die cut, I'm adding the phrase all bundled up and looking adorable. This is the same dreamy blue color that I used around the photo. As I've said many times before, I like using odd numbers on my pages, so I'm going to bring in more of that color to my page with a small tree and a tab above the photo. This formation of 3 creates a triangle of elements that flow around the photo. To finish the page, I want to add a third cluster of items here in the top corner. Again, I'm going to bring in some blue branches, stems, and leaves. These are all going to layer behind a square die cut that says Let It Snow. I'm going to finish assembling this little cluster off camera, and then I'll share the completed page with you. As you can see, I added a few more details. The branches on the left side are darker blue, and I realized that I didn't add any of this foggy blue color to any other part of the page. Near the title, I added a little puffy snowflake in that color, and at the top of the page, I placed a having fun phrase. I also brought in more of those soft pearls to match the ones I placed over here on the left. At the top, I covered up another cluster of red flowers and placed a small cluster of pearls near the title. To make a space for journaling, I sat this tag from the PL kit above the Things to Remember tab, and I finished it off with an organza bow. Today, I shared a charming winter layout with a monochromatic color scheme. Most of these items that I used are part of the December Hip Kit collection. If you're a member of the Hip Kit Club, you save 15% on coordinating items, and those can ship free with your main kit. So if you want to grab yourself a color kit to create the wreath, it's worth becoming a member. If you would like to learn more about becoming a member, I've added the details in the description below. I want to thank you for joining me for another scrapbook project. If you would like to see more of my creations, you can visit my channel or follow Miss Carrie's Creations online. If you have any questions about this project or supplies listed below, feel free to leave me a comment. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to see what you create.